Hey everyone, this is Brandon with LMB Productions, and today I'm going to be giving you the basics on Davinci Resolve and my workflow, how I go through things. And I'm going to be using a white screen video, for example, because I do a lot of white screen work, and I know a lot of you guys do, so this is going to be particularly helpful for those who do white screen work. So first thing you're going to do is open up Finder, and you're going to go to the drive where you have your videos. So I have it right here in my Blackmagic drive, and the first thing you're going to want to do is just label your videos and get them organized in Finder, because getting them organized in Davinci isn't as effective, isn't as efficient, because it takes a little more work. And so it's better to get them as organized as you can in Finder, and then you can do all the minute stuff in Davinci. So the videos I'm going to be using are these two, the ABCs to having a successful booth. So I have my camera 1 here, and I have my camera 2, and I actually already have those labeled and stuff. And so as you can see, I labeled them 1, I labeled them 2, so they have the exact same names. So when I import them, they'll be right next to each other and they'll be ready to go. I know exactly which ones I need to sync. So the next thing to do will be to just open up Davinci. Okay, so now that we're in Davinci, considering you have the right database up, you're going to want to just open up a new project. So you'll click there. And the first thing you're going to want to do is import your clips into the media pool. So that's a great new feature that is so simple and is so amazing that you just simply drag and drop your clips in the media pool. It's something really simple, but it's not something Davinci has always had. So that's really great that they have it in Davinci Resolve 12 now. So we have the B clip and the A clip, and we'll just drag and drop those in. Okay, so another great feature that Davinci Resolve has is the ability to sync two clips with their sound. So that is extremely helpful if you have multi-cam clips, and you want to sync their sound together. It's just so simple and easy. You select one, select the other, and you'll be doing all of this in the media pool, which is this area. You'll create a multi-cam clip, and we'll title it ABCs for now. And this is very important in angle sync. You don't want in, you don't want out, no time code. You'll want to select sound. So you'll select that. And if you have move source clips to original clips bin selected, then it's just going to take these source clips here and it's going to move them into an original clips bin. So I like to do that. So I'm just looking at the multicam clip, and the frame rate is correct. So I'll create that. It'll analyze them, make sure they're all good to sync, and then it'll create them. So there we go. You can tell you have a multicam clip when you see this. This is the little multicam icon here in the bottom left side. So we're good there. This is all I'm doing for the media section right here in Davinci Resolve. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to the edit. So now we're going to create a new timeline. So we're going to do Command N, and then we're going to do ABC's timeline, and we're going to create that. And as I said earlier, guys, you can check the original clips if you need them, and they are right here. But we're working in the master, so we're going to just simply drop this guy into here, and we can begin editing. So for this video 6, I'm going to do really simple color grading and stuff like that. So the way I grade is first I correct. I do my color correcting, then I do any color grading, and then I go back and refine. However, this is a white screen video, so I'm not even going to be doing any grading or any refining. I'm just going to be doing correcting, because this is nothing fancy. This is just a simple white screen, and this is a basics video, so that's all I'm going to be doing. It's going to be pretty quick, and I'll show you a kind of quick trick I do for the B camera, but So we're just going to grab a little screenshot here that looks good to start on, and we're going to go into the color portion here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to level everything here. So this isn't going to affect the color at all. This is just simply looking at the levels. So I always start on the waveform scope. Just a quick little tutorial on scopes right now is you have the waveform, you have the parade, you have your vector scope, and you have your histogram. So my my color temperature and everything, it's 5600 Kelvin right here. So I don't need to look at parade, and I don't need to look at my vector scope, because I know my skin tones and everything are pretty much where I want them, and so I don't have to use those. So for those who I messed up with the lighting, and I kind of I got off and it looks kind of weird. We'll have later lessons that'll show you how to use parade, and they'll show you, right here, we'll show you how to use parade, and we'll show you how to use the vector scope to kind of correct things. But right now, as you can see, parade uniform, so I don't have to correct anything on that aspect. So we're just going to be working with waveform. And one thing I definitely want to do is get rid of these guys here, kind of blast those shadows out in the white screen. So I always just first work with offset. I take it up a little bit, get my midtones more evened out along with this middle line here, the middle dashed line. And I'll just even that out. And I'll definitely take the gain up, and then I haven't been taking the shadows all the way down lately. We can see how that looks, and I'll be taking the midtones up a little bit. Okay, so this is actually going to be a great example, because as you can see, this is a pretty leveled exposure. But if I try and blast these shadows out, if I try and do that, you can see here I'm blasting out his shirt. So I don't want to do that. So for right now, I'm just going to keep it here. And so this is his body right here. This is his shirt, and I'm not going to go above 1023 there. I'm going to keep it right at the top, and this little bit you see over here, these little bits, those are the shadows here in the white, and I have them in the corners. So I'm not going to mess with those yet. Now I'm going to move on to the saturation. So I'm going to open up a new node using Option S, and I'm going to work on the saturation. So this is how I like to do saturation. We'll go into the curve scope here, and we're going to go to Luma versus Sata, and we're going to create 3 different key points. So we're going to go into the lows. We're just going to click down there, right here, and right here. So this is like the low lows. This is basically right around here, right around this area is where you're going to get the skin tones, and we're going to boost those up. And then this is the highlight area. So I like to dip, and I'm basically just taking the saturation out of the lows. So I'm taking the saturation out of there, I'm taking the saturation out of the highlights a little bit, and I'm boosting the midtones, because this is really the most natural look that a picture can have, because you don't have saturation in the highlights or you don't have saturation in the lows as much. So I just dip those, I dip the highlights. It makes for a more natural looking picture. And I just take up from the RGB mixer, I take up the reds, the greens, and the blues. So I take them up in the red, the green, blues, take up their corresponding saturations. And then I will typically add another node, and I'll go back into here, and this is just for quick touch-ups, I'll actually mess with the saturation tab. And so, yeah, he's actually kind of right on the mark with the saturation, maybe a little too much. So, yeah, this third node is just for detailing saturation. And so then, of course, I'll go back to the first node, and I'll make any little corrections here. And so now I'm good with that for now. Maybe bring the midtones up a little bit. Okay, I'm good with this for now. So I'm going to go back to this node. I'm going to create a fourth node, Option S again. And I'm going to create a layer node. And so this is where I'm going to get rid of this stuff right here. This little background shadow stuff. So I'm going to go into my qualifier tab. I'm going to click on the shadows here. And again, guys, you're not typically going to need to do this stuff. At this point, you'd usually be done with these three nodes. But since he's wearing a blue shirt, like a light blue shirt against a white background, it's not the best idea. So you're going to have to work around this stuff. So I'm going to click the darkest part. Actually, it might be over here. Yeah, the darkest part here. And I am going to blast that out. So with the qualifier, I'm basically only selecting that area, and you can see down here in the hue, saturation, and luminance. If I click here, I'm grabbing his skin tones. If I click here, I'm grabbing the really low stuff, the white, the full white background, and here I'm just grabbing those shadows. So I think I just about have it there, and now that that's all that's grabbed, bring up the gain so I can blast out these whites, and I'm going to keep on bringing it up, so I'm going to try and get rid of this over here. And so you can see it's grabbing his shirt, it's blasting out his shirt and stuff, and that looks pretty weird. So I can probably get a better grab on the qualifier, but another thing you can do, we can go to our qualifier node, our layer node here, and we can actually create a power window. And so what we'll want to do is invert it. So we'll go over here, click this button. So everything outside of this window is going to get that blasted out effect. So I'm going to grab everything here. I'm just going to use my scroll out a bit so I can get a full picture of him. Okay, and if you just want to see what you're grabbing, if you just want to see this layer window, you can go to the bar here, and you can see, okay, here's what I'm grabbing, here's what's getting blasted out, but I'm going to keep working in this window here. So I'm going to keep working in this window here. I'm going to go back to the power window. And let's see. Just a little more this way. And that looks pretty good to me. It may not be perfect, but that looks a little good. So now, obviously, this is video, so he's going to be moving around. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to track him. So we'll go into the tracker, and we'll track right, and we'll track forward, and then we'll track back. And it should track his movement. He actually doesn't move around so much, so it should be a pretty simple track. So we'll do that now. Okay, so for the sake of this video, we'll just cut it a little short. But as you can see, the window is now tracking him. Okay, and so that's basically the basics of DaVinci. Now, of course, it'll take a little bit more to get into the editing and the cutting and stuff, but that'll be a separate video. So for now, you have it graded, you're ready to get into editing, and that'll be the next video we do. So hope this helps, guys. Thanks for watching.